MindShifter Audio Blog, a place for your mind to grow.
The perfect parent myth is destroying real families. Social media has turned parenting into performance art. Scroll through Instagram and you'll see perfectly curated playrooms, organic bento box lunches arranged in tiny works of art, and children who apparently never have meltdowns in grocery stores. Meanwhile, real parents are sitting in their cars after school pickup, wondering why they yelled at their kid over homework again. Here's the truth. The perfect parent doesn't exist. And thank God for that, because perfect parents would raise broken children. We've somehow convinced ourselves that good parenting means never making mistakes, never losing our temper, never questioning our decisions, and always having the right answer. We think it means having Pinterest-worthy birthday parties, organic everything, and children who say please and thank you without being reminded 47 times. This fantasy is not just unrealistic, it's damaging. When parents believe they should be perfect, every normal human moment becomes a source of shame. You snap at your teenager when you're stressed out about work? You must be a terrible parent. Your toddler has a public tantrum? Obviously, you're doing something wrong. You give your kid cereal for dinner because it's been one of those days? Clearly, you're failing at this whole parenting thing. But here's what nobody tells you. Those moments of imperfection aren't parenting failures. They're parenting education. Every other skill in life comes with an accepted learning curve. You don't expect to be a master chef the first time you touch a knife. You don't assume you'll nail a presentation without practice. You understand that becoming good at anything requires time, mistakes, and gradual improvement. Yet somehow, we expect parents to be experts from day one. The moment that baby arrives, we act like some magical transformation should occur that makes you naturally gifted at one of the most complex, demanding, and constantly evolving challenges humans can ever face. Parenting is the only job where you're simultaneously the student and the teacher, and the curriculum changes daily. Your gentle parenting strategies that worked beautifully with your compliant 4-year-old might completely backfire with their strong-willed sibling. The patience you had in abundance during those sweet toddler phases might evaporate when you're dealing with teenage attitude and your own midlife stress. That is reality. This isn't failure. This is normal human development happening in real time. Children don't need perfect parents. They need real ones. When you mess up and then repair the relationship, you are teaching them something invaluable. That people make mistakes, take responsibility, and love each other through imperfection. Think about the parents you most admired growing up. Chances are they weren't the ones who never made mistakes. They were the ones who owned their errors, showed you how to bounce back from failure, and demonstrated that love doesn't depend on performance. When you lose your patience and then apologize to your child, you're modeling emotional regulation and accountability. When you admit you don't know something and figure it out together, you're teaching problem solving and humility. When you show up imperfectly, but consistently, you're demonstrating that commitment isn't about perfection. It's about presence. Let's acknowledge the elephant in the room. Parenting today is harder than it's ever been. Previous generations had built-in support systems. Kids played outside unsupervised. Extended families lived nearby. Communities raised children together. Parents weren't expected to be entertainment directors, nutritionists, educational coordinators, chauffeurs, and therapists all roll in one. Now, parents are doing it largely alone, while juggling careers, managing household logistics, staying on top of school communications that require a PhD to decipher, and somehow finding time to maintain their own mental health and relationships. Add social media comparison, conflicting expert advice, and the pressure to optimize every aspect of childhood. And it's no wonder parents feel like they're drowning. You're not failing at parenting. You're succeeding at an impossible job under unprecedented conditions. Here's something they don't mention in parenting books. Raising children will expose every unhealed part of yourself. Your kids will push buttons you didn't know you had. They will trigger responses that come from your own childhood experiences. They'll challenge your patience, your values, your assumptions about how the world should work, and your capacity for unconditional love. This isn't a side effect of parenting, it's the point. Children don't arrive to fit into your existing life. They come to crack you open and help you become who you are meant to be. Every tantrum that tests your patience, every defiant moment that challenges your authority, every sweet interaction that melts your heart, all of it is developing parts of yourself you never knew existed. The parent who never struggles never grows. The parent who never questions their approach never improves. The parent who never feels overwhelmed never discovers their true capacity for resilience. Your kids don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be present. They don't need you to have all the answers. They need you to be willing to figure things out together. They don't need you to never make mistakes. They need you to show them how to recover from mistakes with grace. They need to see you as a full human being, someone who has had bad days and good days, someone who struggles and succeeds, someone who loves them fiercely even when you're not at your best. They need to know that love isn't conditional on performance, because that's the foundation of their future relationships and their relationship with themselves. Just when you think you've figured out parenting, your child enters a new phase and throws everything you thought you knew out the window. The strategies that work for potty training won't work for teenage dating conversations. The patience you cultivated for toddler negotiations won't automatically transfer to helping with algebra homework. This constant adaptation isn't evidence that you're doing it wrong. It's evidence that both you and your child are growing, changing, and becoming more complex versions of yourself. The goal was never to master parenting once and be done. The goal is to keep learning, keep adjusting, and keep showing up. Maybe it's time to redefine what successful parenting looks like. Instead of measuring success by how rarely you make mistakes, measure it by how quickly you repair them. Instead of aiming for children who never struggle, aim for children who know how to handle struggle. Instead of trying to prevent all their pain, focus on teaching them resilience. This is how you prepare them for real life. Success isn't raising perfect children. Success is raising children who can handle imperfection in themselves and in the world around them. It's raising kids who know they're loved, not because they're perfect, but because they're yours. The most profound gift you can give your children isn't perfection. It's the knowledge that they belong, that they matter, and that love doesn't have to be earned. You can give them that gift while being beautifully, messily, authentically human. Here's the mind-shifting moment. You're not raising children. You're raising future adults while simultaneously becoming a more complete version of yourself. And that process, by its very nature, requires you to be imperfect, growing, and beautifully human.
The MindShifter Audio